See, and then so then what happens is we look it up and we kind of share it.
Hey, guess what? We're live.
Hey, live.
Hi, everybody. Happy Sunday.
I like that better, Mike, when you say that instead of me going, are we live? Are we live? I like better, hey, we're live, instead of my.
That was a smoother transition this
that
week because it popped right up.
So now I just got to find it and share it. Where did it just go?
Okay, what are you sharing?
I share the feed on my own Facebook so that I can see it, and so that when people comment on it, I can read the comments.
She'll get the notifications.
Right. It's not letting me really share it right now. So we have Miss Cathy Collins with us Sunday at 7.
Yay!
Heavy hitter guest this week. Heavy hitter guest.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Big time.
She is a big heavy hitter guest. You know, in my opinion, and you knew, Cathy, that I was going to share this, that Cathy is who got me into treatment 3 years ago.
Instrumental.
So she's someone that I will forever be grateful for. She, you know, there was no judgment. There was no shame. I was whining and moaning about needing a TV in my room, that I wasn't going to detox if I didn't have a television in my room. And she did it, you know, and she got it, and she said, go tomorrow and be there. And I just think that's so huge to have someone like that in this industry where she didn't give me a hard time because I was being a little whiny brat, you know, and she got me, and that was 3 years ago. So thank you forever, Cathy.
You are so welcome. It will be ever a great accomplishment.
That's awesome.
Awesome stuff.
So I guess I can read the mission statement, and then we'll go into learning a little bit more about Cathy and why me and Mike and Julie and Debbie and the whole team at Greater Waltham Recovery Solutions loves her so much. Greater Waltham Recovery Solutions mission is to raise funds and awareness to help connect people into treatment, access to recovery coaches in the community, extra support and accessibility of treatment for veterans. You know, Cathy knows Murph as well. So that was a little something we want to try to do to help.
Yeah.
And scholarshiping people into sober living. Boom.
Woohoo! And guess what? We're getting some action on the donation part. We have a cool event that we're doing every Saturdays, 8 a.m. Boxing for fitness classes, $10 per person. 50% of that $10, $5 a person, goes towards the Greater Waltham Recovery Solutions Scholarship Fund. So if you want to get in a good workout, get in shape, learn the fundamentals of boxing, all while giving back to your community and helping people suffering from substance use disorder, please come down and have a great time. Jessica came last week along with Julie and Deb, and tell them about your experience.
Well, you want me to tell them I'm sore?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, tell them I feel like, I mean, if you didn't like it, if all you got out of it was your sore, that's not good.
No, it actually was awesome. I was nervous. I'm not someone who likes to get up early on any day of the week, let alone a Saturday. But we went, and Mike's amazing at it. And it's, I'm going to call him Orlando.
Orlando, yeah.
Orlando is, you know, he's amazing. You know, they motivate you, and it's just an awesome cause, you know, to get out. And it felt good to physically get out there and do something too. You know, and sitting in our houses, and I have an exercise, and that physical side of it it was awesome. So even though I'm sore, it's a good sore. It's not a
good sore.
It's a good sore. And we actually already have some.
A rewarding sore.
We actually have some comments already. So Debbie said, go Cathy. Teresa Legerio, Mike's mom, said, happy Sunday to all.
Oh, that's nice.
Hi, Mom.
She's a number one fan. Olga Ian Castillo said, hi, everyone.
Okay.
Kim G,
hello.
Our social media superstar, said, hey, everyone, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Happy
Hi,
Sunday.
Kim.
Brian B. Scarlett said, first time watching. Welcome.
Yay.
Woohoo. Welcome.
Welcome, Brian. Dina Simmons Lear said, what boxing club do we need to sign up in advance? Thanks.
You
we need to
can,
sign
you
up
don't
in
have to
advance?
sign up in advance, but you can reach out to me on my Facebook account. First name Michael, last name Leggiero. You can message me and I will give you more details as to where we're located and what time we're kicking off, and more details if you have any questions, what you need to bring, anything like that. Just please reach out to me, send me a message. And without further ado, let's get to our special guest tonight, Cathy Collins of Spectrum Health Systems. She's been a recovery advocate for years, business development representative for those guys over there. Huge advocate for people trying to get treatment, navigate their way into treatment, out of treatment, resource specialist for those people. So tell us a little bit about how you've been impacted by substance use disorder, your story of addiction, and what came along with that.
Yeah, my story is in 1998, before you guys were probably born. Go ahead and say it, Jessica.
No.
1998 or 88?
Okay. Woo. I was at the end of my drinking, and so I got sober on March 1st of 1998 because I was coming off of a really bad weekend, and sobriety seemed like the most logical thing to do when it was suggested to me by somebody. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot. I could always pick up a drink again. Doesn't matter, but I might never have this chance again. So I had been selling paper. That was the business I was in. I was in sales, and it was a declining market. Everything's going digital, much like this. And I decided, you know, I really don't want to be around alcohol all the time because I was socializing and taking people. I was just part of entertaining. And so I thought, what can I do that I might actually transfer my love of recovery into business? And that was sort of when things were just sort of picking up, and people were actually, there was an opportunity to get in the business as I hate to call it sales because it's not really sales, we're outreach.
Right.
And we're reaching out to communities, talking about what we do. And so I had to sort of feel my way around the business a little bit. So when I say that, I mean, I was working for places that were located in Florida, which was really hard. And so, you know, that was right when Florida became an issue in the news. You'll all remember, probably 4 years ago, I was working for a Florida organization, and things just sort of blew up about don't go to treatment in Florida. And, you know, it was much hype. I believe there were issues and they've corrected them. But anyway, moving along, they only took like commercial insurance. And so my biggest problem with it was I wanted to help more people. And getting that one little subset of people that could either cash pay or had terrific commercial insurance was really hard. So I worked my way sort of learning the business because it is a business. And I wanted to know everything about, you know, what our clinical does. How do we treat people? How do we represent everybody? And then thankfully, it's been a year now at Spectrum and New England Recovery Center, and it's opened my ability to help people so more than you can even imagine, because we take all insurances. You know, I can help the mass health population. I can help the uninsured, no insurance population if you're a Massachusetts resident. And I think both of you know that's the hardest thing about our jobs. We want to help everybody.
Right.
Yeah, that's the topic.
Yeah, so that has been sort of my transfer from selling paper into doing something good that and now I'm going to sign up and I'm going to try to become a recovery coach as part of it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited about that because part of what we do, you know, we're not just talking to clinicians, we're talking to people just like us. And it's like, just because I can say I have years of sobriety, it's not the same thing as saying, you know, the clinicians think, well, you know, I just think that would be a good skill set for me to have to add to it. So, because anyone who knows me knows I am really passionate about recovery. You know, it is a long time, I think, you know, because I think at certain days, I think I can't even believe it. You know, that's a long time, 22 years, and I still love meetings as much as, you know, they're like, life is good. If I didn't take care of my recovery, I wouldn't be able, no one would be asking me my opinion on anything. I know that.
Right.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be given good information if you didn't take care of your personal recovery, right?
That's right. It would be a crazy, crazy time.
Also, before I forget, because I just realized I didn't mention this in the beginning, that because it's August is Overdose Awareness Month, anyone that wants us to read names off at 7:30, please comment them in the feed. We'll read them off, and then I'll have the list of all the names so that the last week in August we will read off all the names.
That's a nice thing to do, yeah.
So, our way of honoring those we've lost. So anyone that, has been lost to this disease, please comment the names now, between now and 7:30, and I'll write them down, and so that we can do that at 7:30.
Good job. Woohoo!
I forgot at the beginning,
Yeah.
so I needed to.
No, that's great.
That in there.
So I totally agree with the recovery coaching aspect of it, because recovery coaching really does, it equips you with some of the clinical aspect. Recovery coaching really is like a clinical approach to peer-to-peer support, because it gives you that 5 stages of change, and you learn about all that. You learn about motivational interviewing, so you kind of take in a clinical approach, although it's not clinical because you're a peer to these people that are still suffering, but you're equipped with more knowledge than if you just went into it taking our beliefs from our own personal recovery and our own pathway to recovery and placing it on that. Yeah.
And I think that was such an important piece, that when you got me treatment, it wasn't, you were just like someone from the outside telling me you need to get help, you need to go to teachers. It's that you had that lived experience of, you can do this, and just go and just do it. And that was huge.
Yeah, having been there and understanding that I know what's on the other side of it, that our lives are so much better, on the other side of it. But when you're in the middle of it, you can't get out of your own way. That's why, as simple as something like, well, can I use my phone? Like, that's a big deal too. Phone, or can I smoke? Number one question. Can I smoke? And
I think that was on my list.
I feel bad for places that don't offer the ability to listen. I mean,
no smoke breaks. That's a deal breaker.
That would be no TV almost did it in for Jessica.
Yeah, exactly. So imagine if there was no smoking. That would have really thrown me over the edge.
Yeah.
I asked that cell phone question. I think you even were like, yeah, you can bring it. And then once I got there, they snapped and walked away.
Well, technically, you can bring it in the building with you.
Exactly.
Yes,
you can bring
it in the baggie, and when you leave, we'll give it back.
Yeah, but
we'll give it back.
It's important to have that disconnect and not be stuck on your phone for those times that you're in treatment. You need to focus completely on yourself, and you don't realize how much you need that until you go through that process of taking the time away from your phone, away from your computer, away from, and just giving yourself the chance you deserve,
Yeah, I agree. And we talked a little bit, but during, as you know, because Zoom, we're all on Zoom and everything is a Zoom world, but we talked about that a little bit with regard to COVID. One cool thing that Spectrum did is they were authorized by the state to open an entire COVID unit. So it was strictly a house that was formerly part residential, and now it's back to residential again, but it's already set up so that if the COVID has a spike and people need treatment, we'll take COVID. We're already staffed, ready to go, which I think is the state helped fund it and get it all set up. But right now, the good news is there are none. There are no positive people in treatment. But I think that was a huge step it's for anyone, meaning insurance was not a barrier. And I can't even imagine. I know getting sober or getting clean is hard enough, but imagine if it all hit you.
Right.
If you had COVID, I can't even, as if our world isn't tough enough. But wow.
So this unit that you have in place, so say hypothetically a patient came down with the COVID while they were in treatment with you, they would be quarantined to this building so they can continue in their treatment?
Totally, but they would never make it into our regular portion, because the strict policies of pre-screening. When they get to the building, then they're pre-screened again. So it's been very tightly monitored so that patients already in treatment, because they're going to be spending hours and hours together, that no one enter who's suspected of having COVID. So they did enough pre-screening, enough questions, and the whole 9 yards. So if someone was at the hospital or someone says, I have COVID, but I want to go to treatment, it was those people. They would go straight to that unit and never be in contact with any other population. And they had dedicated nurses, dedicated staff. So it was actually, I think it was a really incredible, progressive, considering
Brilliant.
the
Yep.
only other place I knew that was taking COVID positive was Emerson Hospital in Concord. Those are the only two places I knew of that were actually taking COVID.
So we have
But
we have a
oh,
couple
sorry,
of
go
comments. Sorry, Mike. So Tommy Kekavaro says, love you guys.
Tommy,
Legs. Hi, Tommy.
Hi,
Tommy, come boxing this week.
Yeah.
It'd be so crowded. I hope the boxing ring is big enough for all of us.
It's outside. So
It's on a football field.
Yep.
Even better.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it was perfect on Saturday. It was like, not hot. It was like what, 70s or something?
70. It was probably under 70 when we were there. It was cool.
Yeah.
It was like 68. So
it was perfect though for boxing. Kim G. Oh, so Mandy McGowan says, hi, everyone. Hi, Mandy. And then Jonathan Berenson says, those things can be triggers to leave detox also and can really hurt your chances.
the phones, absolutely.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
We used to call it the heliphone when I was in treatment. You'd get on the heliphone, not the telephone, because every time you'd reach onto the outside, you get some bad news, or your girlfriend doesn't want to answer, your boyfriend doesn't want to answer, and you just get in your head.
Yeah, crazy. Well, and the other thing is, I've heard, I don't know, but I've heard of it where people will say, you want to use your phone? Okay, let's go through first and delete all of the contacts that are the bad guys, or, the dealers, whatever. And they've actually sat and done that. Okay, yeah, here, we can use your food. So, I mean.
I had my best friend do that while I was in treatment.
That's awesome.
Because I was dealing with health. I was dealing with a hellish situation 3 years ago.
Totally.
Go down that road.
I remember.
And so I said, delete all the text messages, delete my feet, just delete everything, because it's also such an anxiety when you get out to then look at your phone.
Right.
Where have you been? What, blah, blah, blah. And then even the dealer's texting you, or this person's texting you, and it's just better to wipe the slate clean, or even change your phone numbers in some circumstances, because that can be really, really hard. Peter Burke says, hi, everyone. Hi, Peter.
Hi, Peter.
Hi, Peter.
Missed ya. And then Linda Blundell says, me too. Hi, Michael.
Linda Blundell, I love you. Hi, Linda.
And Linda, my friend Linda, who came to boxing, so Linda Norcross, she said it was awesome.
Linda.
And hi, Kathy. She was
call her Wheels.
Wheels, I know, because I'm like, should I say Wheels Norcross or Linda Norcross? Because her Facebook is Wheels. Not to give out her Facebook's on here, so I guess I'm not giving out. Yeah, right. So also just want to remind everyone again who's joined us that please list off any names you want read at 7:30. So we'll be doing that in about 10 minutes. Any names of anyone who's been lost to overdose or this disease of addiction, or so that we can
memorialize them.
Yeah, because if you remember last year, I think it wasn't COVID, or what month did they put the flags out? Was there a flag? The purple flags. I thought it was this month.
Yeah, it's August. It's all of August.
So what was the issue last year with the flags? Because I remember they didn't have the ability to put them out. Was it something else, Triple E or something? I don't know.
It could have been.
I think I remember. It could have been, yeah.
So
I think I remember something along those lines, yeah.
That they could have put the flags out? I don't remember that.
Because it was some public health issue. And I don't know.
I do remember. We'll have to use the Google machine when the show is over.
Right. And then Debbie Marshall, I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher the last name. Perochodiuk. Debbie Marshall Perochodiuk said, hi, Kathy.
Hi, Debbie.
Did I pronounce it wrong? How do you pronounce it?
I don't know, because I don't know people's last names.
Yeah, okay.
Debbie P.
Debbie,
Debbie P, yeah.
I'm the worst. I'm the worst. Okay, so that's it for comments for now.
Good job. Good job. So this is a two-part question. So did you see an influx of clients leaving AMA during the the extra stimulus money and the extra unemployment money, the additional 600 that everyone was getting? Because I know that was happening a lot.
Yep.
Did you notice that?
Oh, that makes me so upset. Yeah, I would say what I noticed more than extra AMAs from it, I noticed more people like that were in sober houses that we had helped place in sober houses, that sort of thing, left. Like the influx of, hey, our money's coming Friday, and that has to be my biggest bone to pick with that extra. And I think there was an influx of people checking in after, because getting treatment after, people relapsing, people overdosing. I think I noticed more people coming in that would not have come in necessarily.
Right.
And you know what? I hadn't thought about that with regard to the AMAs, but that could have been a reason, because that whole $600 stimulus is
right.
I mean, I don't think anyone in the drug council was consulted about that prior to making that decision. That was strictly economic.
Right. This demographic wasn't thought of when that happened.
What do you think is going to happen? And then when they back pay it, because it took a while to get there, now you're holding a $5,000 check. I mean, hello.
Yeah.
Right? So we won the lottery.
That's like an addict's dream, when you're like, because that's a reason that a lot of people go to treatment. You have no money, you're sick of stealing, you're sick of, all those things, and to get all of a sudden there's $1,200 in my bank account. I'm out of here.
$1,200 is like $1 million.
Oh, $600 would have been a lot. $600 would have been enough to get me to leave treatment. Who are you kidding? $60 at that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I agree.
Absolutely. An active addiction, I'd be lucky to hold $600 at one time in active addiction when I was using. So just imagine that hit your bank account on a Thursday. I'm out of there, no matter where I'm at. If I'm a little uncomfortable, I'm getting comfortable.
Yeah.
So I would say there's been an uptick in admissions though currently, right? A lot of places that I've called to place people, they're wait list now because I think it's subsided a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been full. So, the sad news is if you're waiting and you can wait one more day, it's likely someone will leave AMA for whatever reason at one of the facilities. But you're right. The uptick has been most likely because now the stimulus is stopping. The new one hasn't picked up yet. So I would say, yes, now people are getting serious about what am I going to do? I'm going to have to get a job. I know someone who out and out told me, hey, sorry, it was too good to pass up. I was getting the money. I didn't want to get a job.
Right.
But I get it. If drugs are way more appealing than working at a $15 an hour job, that you're making more when you're on unemployment. I get it. We're
much more. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and we had talked about, some of the other things that I love about, Spectrum in particular, besides the insurances and that, they're very adaptable to things like, there could be many more out there. You guys would have to tell me too, but Spanish speaking. They have Spanish speaking. They have the ability to have interpreters. They have all of that, which I hadn't always thought about, but it is culturally diverse. The employees are culturally diverse. That's one of the things I love about it. It's not, I don't want to use the word highbrow because that sounds crazy. Like I'm not, but I sort of think of it as a facility for everyone.
Right.
If you're serious about wanting to get clean, it's the most amazing facility. And I've often heard that, if you want it, there's nothing wrong with it. But if you don't want it, there's everything wrong with it. You guys have probably heard that too. Like if you're not
absolutely. Yeah. You're just, you're picking apart everything you can find that's wrong with a program just because it's a caveat to you just saying, hey, I'm just going to go back out there and use. This is my excuse. This is my out. You know, the food wasn't the right temperature, or the water wasn't right, the right pH level, or there wasn't a TV in your room, like Jess.
Right.
And Cathy got me that
on vacation, as if our wonderful lives got us to go to like the Bahamas. Like, this is our grand life to go away. Like, we're fortunate that we're like at a place that will even feed us.
Right.
And we're thinking, you know, it's not good enough.
It's that justification to use, you know, or
Right.
rationalization to use or to drink.
Oh,
that,
we can talk ourselves into anything.
We can talk ourselves into anything, and we can talk ourselves out of anything too. You know, we can talk ourselves out of going to treatment. I don't know what just happened to my screen. All of a sudden it like moved. I'm like, oh, did I lose them? And then I don't know.
I'll set live on Facebook, so you're good.
Okay, just making sure. What else, Mike? Do you got? What time is it?
Yeah. So, what was I thinking? I just had a good question. I forgot all about it.
I thought you had a 3-part question.
Was it a 3-part? No,
that was 2 questions ago.
Oh, that was 2.
Yeah, that was 2 questions ago. So tell us about the levels of care that you could provide at Spectrum and NERC, because I know, you know, between both programs, there's different levels of care, different.
Up there, well, there are really a couple really good things that are like to be mindful of right now, particularly for anyone who's watching. There's a project that a program that Spectrum has in the Weymouth location called Project Turnabout, and it's a 5 program. It's not empty, but it's not at maximum capacity, and it's usually really hard to get in there. So if someone's looking to turn their life around, now is a perfect. It's a male program, and the thing about it is, one of the things of COVID is none of the drug courts have been active the way they had been when we're going there. You know, it's not that there are not drug courts, it's just so different now. So drug courts were mandating people there, so now there's openings. So if anyone's watching this, now is a great opportunity if you would like to get your life turned around. But in general, we offer all levels of care: detox, residential, and then we have different outpatient facilities around the state, actually, and they offer all of the various medicine-assisted treatment. If that's important, you can go immediately, and we have a location in Worcester, which is on any given day, you can go and rapid response, meaning you can go in today and start treatment immediately, because I know that could be a barrier too.
Wow.
Right. I'm going to wait a week from now if I am ready to, you know, if I'm ready today and methadone is going to be my answer.
Right.
I need to go today. I don't need
Today.
a month. You know what I mean? Like, so that's
Right.
one thing that's amazing. And that's sort of like a program where you could go get started, and then you don't always have to go to Worcester, but then you can get your local, it's called a hub and spoke program. You start at the hub, and then we spoke you out what's closest to wherever you are. That's a terrific one. We have IOPs, program groups, private therapy that you can get. So they really cover the gamut. If you want Vivitrol or Suboxone, each location sort of, you can get what it is you're looking for help. And I think whatever it takes, get help. I'm not a doctor, and I think absolutely the risk is too great otherwise. Like,
I love that. That was part, you know, that whatever it takes, you
Whatever
know, all
it
pathways.
totally agree. Yep.
You know, too many people, there's too much stigma around sometimes MAT, and if it's saving someone, if, you know, if it's keeping a needle out of someone's arm or a straw from their nose, you know, giving them, they still have breath, there's hope, right? Where there's breath,
and I feel like in general, our population just understands that so much. Maybe 20 years ago, people weren't talking about everything at meetings and that sort of thing. But I was at a meeting the other day, and someone just basically said, you know, I'm on methadone and I need help. Like, and nobody judged him. I felt like, wow, that's when I feel COVID.
That's amazing.
I want to go hug him and say it's okay.
Yeah, right.
That's when
but there's been a shift over the past few years where it's like even members of 12-step fellowships where abstinence is the ground, you know, there's pretty much what the program is based upon. are more open to people on MAT and taking them through the steps and having them, work a program, having them be of service to the community and to their fellowship and to their group. So I love that. I think that's so important because you can't make people feel alienated.
Totally.
Right?
And all I say to people, just keep an open mind. You might not have thought of that as a
That's
solution.
right.
You keep an open mind. If this is a solution, don't worry about giving up chocolate today. If that's going to save you, then we'll put that down the road. I mean, save your life.
That's right.
And that was,
amen.
And that was, that was a huge thing, to come into a program that, if you're on MAT or this or that, and to not be shunned away. And then maybe one day you can get off MAT, maybe one day you can't, but at least having the support of.
Well, and the same thing holds true for, antidepressants. People always think, well, it's like, forget it. What meds you're on is nobody's business, is the way I look at it. It's like, we're in this together to stay clean and sober. We're not in this to judge each other. Whatever it takes, you're saving your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway. Richie Evans, the wolf, says hi. He said hi to us. So hi, Richie.
Hi, Wolf.
It is about 7:30, but I guess I'll give us 5 more minutes for names. So again, if anyone has any names that you want us to read off for Overdose Awareness Month, please comment them so that we can get a good list going to really, recognize them. So I'll give that a few more minutes, right? Because
I think it's sad that we know so many people. Right. I just think it's terrible.
And the list could go on for days.
The list could. So right now, so I guess we could read the names I have off now, or do you think we should wait a few more minutes to get a few more names?
We could read what you have, and then if people add them, we could pause again.
Oh, Mike, always thinking. He's
always thinking. Yeah, strategic. I'm the strategic guy.
Yeah. So I guess we'll have a moment of silence right now and read off the names. And again, if you know anyone and want us to mention it, please read it off. And then if you comment them later on, we'll just keep the names for next week. So I guess we'll take a moment of silence. Mike, do you want to be in charge of when the moment of silence should be over, or do you want me to do that?
Well, you can do that. You can just break it by starting to read.
Oh, that's true too. I shouldn't count to like a magic number. Okay. Okay, so we have Timmy Droz, Felicia Droz, someone this past week, Keith Mize Minor, Kenneth Hurley, and Gary Teresi. So those are those for this week. I've been mentioning Mike the past few weeks, so I don't know, but I can mention him again, Michael Patrick Murphy.
Of course.
And yeah, so if anyone else has any names, we will take another moment of silence and read them off. We actually have some questions from a member of our team, Linda Powell. She said, can you speak to the difference between Spectrum and New England Recovery Center?
Sure. Oh, great question.
Great question.
Yes, Spectrum is the sort of the public health sector organization, and the commercial insurance is New England Recovery Center. It was founded in 2015. They're all on the same campus. They all have the same clinical director overseeing them, but they have unique staffs, unique groups. But it's all the same clinical. I think it's all the same food, the same buildings. I think the difference is just the insurance that is taken, and
one facility you can bill Mass Health, the other facility you can bill commercial. You can't bill both in the same building is pretty much why. Is that correct?
That's correct. And and there's more beds. There's a greater need for the Mass Health population, which when I say Mass Health, I only mean Medicaid. Could be any, but it's Mass Health here in Massachusetts. And there is a greater population, particularly now. So the quantity at Spectrum, the quantity of beds is greater. And the beds are greater, as well as now we have the ability to be a little more fluid, meaning if we need a few more beds in detox versus residential, but our goal is always to get someone from detox to
Yeah.
residential, also known as ATS is detox in the Massachusetts world. CSS is residential, but CSS is a mass health term, and no other states call it this, just Massachusetts.
Just Mass, yes,
Yes,
CSS,
so
Clinical
great.
Stabilization Services,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh my
Every place calls it residential, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Residential and the commercial side of things. And then we always try, as you guys both know, because I've worked with both of you, to get someone to go to aftercare, meaning
Yep.
the longest amount of care we can get someone through, the greater their chances of staying clean and sober and staying in recovery, whatever
Absolutely.
that looks like. And I'm for anything I can do. And I think that the currently during COVID, it's probably not like as much fun as it might be during regular times to go, because now you can't have commitments coming in and out. They're more Zoom, that sort of thing. So
I didn't even think of that about not being able to have commitments come in. I did.
Commitments, yeah.
Yeah, they're still at a point where visitors, which is okay because visitors probably can do a lot of triggering.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, I think a lot of places are not even seeing visitors quite yet even. So.
I didn't even think of that about not, because I remember when I was in treatment, it was, you loved the commitment nights. That's
what gets a lot of people when they get out to NA, AA, Smart Recovery, all of that. Yeah. Because they heard the one little nugget.
Yep. That little seed.
So at your satellite locations, the one we talked about that, you know, have that allow MAT or provide MAT and IOP services, how have they been handling COVID? Do they offer a Zoom option, a telehealth option?
Telehealth at all the locations for therapy, that sort of thing. They have been doing a really good job of screening for more, and I only know this because I heard the clinical director talk about it, but they're doing tighter screenings to see if they could do a little more takeaway meds versus having to come as frequently. So if someone reached a threshold, they would, whatever the process is of determining that, I think they were able to sort of do a little more, as well as scheduling people on different intervals where they wouldn't have everyone standing in a group waiting, that now scheduled differently so that people are more spread out. So they have great, you know, of course, the masks and all of the standard COVID protocol, but they've created different appointments so that it's very efficiently run, so that they don't have those issues. And thankfully, I have not heard of anyone in any of that's to me a miracle.
That's amazing, yeah.
At any of those OTP locations.
And Linda also asked, what is the average length of stay?
Well, it varies. Ideally, we'd love to say 30 days. Mass Health actually has a longer length of stay than a commercial health. However, like the average length, there really isn't one, but we always try for the largest amount. But detox, depends what you're detoxing from, could be 3 days, could be 7 to 10. They want to make sure you're good before they move you to any next level of care. And they can't keep you beyond proper detox protocols, because then that wouldn't be covered on insurance either. And then the residential portion, or CSS, I'm pretty sure with Mass Health, you can automatically get 14 days of residential, but you sort of have to have authorization if you have commercial insurance, which we have great insurance utilization people. So they do try to get you as much time as you can possibly get. And if you're like on the fence about it, then I always say, then try aftercare, because, you know, stay in it somehow. Just stay in it, stay involved in your recovery. And even if it's like move to PHP or move to, you know, we do a lot of back and forth with our co-partners in the state, so that we're always trying to keep it. This is the one industry that I think is so great, because we all work with our competitors, and we all
Right.
I mean, I don't like any of it, because you're not really competitors, but you are. And it's like, but we all put the patient first, the person looking to get in recovery.
Right.
I would give the patient to wherever. Are you going to do it? Yeah, go. Yeah. I just want the person to get healthy and get in recovery.
And that's such a good point too, that we are all, we're competitors, but we work together, and we do really work together because say, I work for Column Health, you work for Spectrum. And it's like, so say a patient doesn't work for Column Health for MAT, for medication assisted treatment, whatever, maybe the location, maybe their ex-girlfriend goes to us, maybe, or, the clinic's right around the corner from their drug dealer, whatever reason, they don't get along with their therapist. Because I know you, because I know you, I've vetted Spectrum, and I think it's also, we built our relationships in this industry a lot on trust and a lot about, believing in each other and knowing, especially for the three of us here, that it's not about numbers and it's not about this and it's we, the three of us, genuinely want to see the patient succeed. And whether it's at Column Health, whether it's here, whether it's there, it doesn't matter. We'd rather work together to find out and then say, oh, how was that patient doing? Oh my God, they stayed with us for 30 days or they're doing great. That's what we want to hear. It's not about the, competitive side of it, like in so many other industries, which I think is really.
Well, and I think it's so great. Like if I know nothing about a particular subject, I'm calling you guys. Like I'm calling to, and we make mistakes. Of course, we all make mistakes in the industry. I oftentimes send someone, whatever. But you know what? My motive is always to help the person. So it's like, I'm never going to be like saying, oh, I had that patient, it's like, we don't do that. And I think that's the reason we all sort of get along in this industry, because we're involved in it. We sort of all feel personally invested in it.
Do you think that's because the majority of people who do what the three of us do are in recovery, and then we have those special people who aren't in recovery who still are on like the same wave?
I think it's because they had to save someone they love.
Yeah.
There's some reason
they've been impacted some way by it. They didn't just choose you. You wouldn't just choose this field if like you didn't have some type of vested interest in it, because it's tough. What we do every day today, it's tough. We get calls, Saturday night, 10 p.m. I might get a call tonight, 11 p.m. You know what I mean?
I do ask you a lot.
We answer the phone.
We never know when we're going to be working. We get calls on vacation. So it's like, to choose this, like you have to have some compassion within you and some empathy within you for people who suffer from mental health and substance use disorder.
And so I have a good segue for that. We are still Greater Waltham Recovery Solutions. We are still up and running. Mike is still placing people nonstop, even today on a Sunday. All services are free. We can get you in, our fabulous, what's your name, patient navigator?
No, resource specialist.
Resource specialist.
Placement coordinator. I have a ton. Treasurer, whatever you want to call me.
Okay, so if someone needs help, they could call you and you would help them even if they had no idea how to get through the system or something? That's
absolutely. Amazing. No insurance, private insurance, private pay, DPH, whatever they need. Yep. Okay. Even if they don't necessarily meet the criteria for detox, res, or PHP, maybe they want outpatient therapy, maybe they want a recovery coach.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out for them.
Okay,
do a little family consulting.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so we're still up and running. So if you guys need help or anything, and then we are, so Mike's boxing on Saturday, Boxing for Fitness, $10 a class. And half of the proceeds will go to Greater Waltham Recovery Solutions. We're going to get the Venmo information for you guys. And maybe one Sunday I'll learn how to put it on my screen, just screen share it, so that you guys have it. So if you want to donate, we're taking donations. We're getting a little bit of, money so that we can scholarship people into sober living so that we can get help.
Our goal in this tumultuous 2020 is to scholarship our first person of 2020. So we want to raise the funds so we could do it.
You can.
We can. As you know, I'm sure, like at Spectrum, at NERC, your case managers are probably working, trying to get scholarships every day. So, and there's a lack of right now. So
you can do it. I know it.
Sorry about that.
Go.
It's hard not to interrupt.
That does not happen as much as you would think it does. where we
What
all
the?
at once.
I know.
It doesn't. It's just because we're so excited.
So I remember the old Project Turnabout when, it was very strict. It was a therapeutic community. But it saved tons of my friends' lives. I know friends who have gone through it and loved Project Turnabout, really taught them how to live and be a productive member of society. They gave them the tools needed. What is the level of care now? Is it still like a halfway house model?
Yes, well, they go through the first, it's kind of, you step down, the detox, the residential, and then you end up there. And I don't know all the details about it, but I do know that you can eventually have a car and start working. The model is to really turn your life around. And then you have a graduation from it.
Right,
So
right.
I'm told it's very emotional.
It's very emotional, yeah. And I remember I did a commitment there back in probably when I was early on in recovery, probably like 2011, 2012, and it was just an amazing commitment. All the clients, they were engaged. They were, they asked questions after, and it just left the mark. It felt like whoever was like directing the program was doing a great job. Like they had their clients really vested into their personal recovery. So
yeah, and
I'd like to know personally because, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I'd like to know personally because, the halfway house is a tough level of care to get people into. This, constantly await. People have to be in CSS for a while. So the fact that you guys have some availability is unbelievable.
Yeah, that. And then I was going to say, we also have what is known as the YAP. We call it YAP, Young Adult Program, which is males 18 to 26. And there's availability there as well. Again, because of the whole COVID and the drug court, typically that's a backlog because that's a population it's not the same as Project Turnabout, but that's in our Westboro campus. And again, long-term program, which I think that is so hard to come by. And, I think that probably if DPH funded, if you needed that, if you didn't have insurance, so that's another opportunity to help someone. We're running up against people all the time who need help. And if they're willing, if they want it and they're willing to commit to that length of stay, it's like, you can't beat it. You're prepared for life.
Right. They give you all the tools necessary. Even like it even integrates you back into society at a slower rate where you get time to get a job. You have your rent isn't a high demand. You probably pay like $100 to $150 a week.
Yeah.
Once you start working, you get overnights and you're not able to like just run on free will. You have a lot of structure actually.
Yeah.
So I love the halfway house model. I'm a product of that, like DPH beds and halfway houses, and yeah, that was my route.
I'm a fan of the halfway houses too. I mean, there's such a need for it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, like in a dream world, Waltham, this organization here, we would own one because
one day, high hopes.
It's true.
Mike will manage it.
Yeah.
He'll do everything.
Yeah.
They'll do everything, whatever's needed.
It's got all the energy.
So Raymond Byrne Jr. said, I love Waltham recovery posts that come over my Facebook machine news feed. They are very uplifting throughout my day. Thank you. You're welcome. Yay. Thank you, Kim G, for your uplifting memes that help someone. That's what we're here for. And Teresa Legerio said, thank you for sharing. Great work, Cathy.
Oh, thank you.
He's so sweet. Michael's mama.
That's where I get it.
I was gonna say he had to get it from someone, right?
Right, exactly.
I think you might be Italian, so she probably makes a mean pasta, right?
Oh yeah, that's what we have. She's up here from Florida. That's what we had for lunch yesterday.
So she's
spaghetti. Ravioli ball and sausage. She's up north for the summer.
Awesome.
So she's up north here and still supporting us by watching. Thank you, Teresa. You are number one.
That's right.
Son. I mean, she loves him.
Yeah.
He's alive.
Yeah.
To support him.
Right. Let's see, what time is it? So 7:50. What else, Michael? Do we got? What else
Do we have more names?
We have one more name that we can read, and that is Mike O'Hare. So in memory of Mike O'Hare as well.
Absolutely. Thank you for posting.
Thank you for posting. So again, we're going to be doing that every week. And also, if you're just watching now and you want to send us, like message us any names, then we'll read them off the following week. And like we said at the last week in August, we're going to read all of the names off. Announce that every morning there is a bed list and midday a CSS and TSS list posted. So Debbie said that every morning we post a bed list, and in the middle of the day we do a CSS and TSS list posted.
Which is not an easy task.
Absolutely.
For whoever is doing that.
Right.
And just a little preface about that. Sometimes those lists aren't completely accurate. So if you want, either myself, Kathy, Jessica to reach out to someone and talk to someone in person for you, reach out to us. That's what we do. If I need a bed at Spectrum, I have contact people there. I get in touch directly with them rather than just reading off a list in like cold calling programs. So it's really ideal to like reach out to one of us and allow us to kind of do your navigating for you. That's why this role is so crucial, because the list sometimes is just I don't know where the numbers get generated, but they're typically not correct. So just reach out to one of us and we can make some calls for you and make it happen. In the meantime, start calling the ones that have a big availability. If it says like 8-10 beds, then I would call those. But then, if you're having no luck, just reach out to us because we can move things around.
Part of the process, because you, as someone trying to find it, you need a navigator. I feel like that we all spend all our days just navigating, and we will spend time calling everyone we know for one person. We don't care. That's what we do.
We don't care. Yeah.
I call one person and it's Mike. And then
and Mike calls.
And then I call 10.
And then he calls like 25, and I just sit back and let him. No, but
anyone looking for help, I'm telling you. Calling someone like Mike is the answer.
Yeah.
Because there's a broken system somehow, but the navigator is a solution to it. If there were like 100 of you cloned, because that's right. Maybe someone's calling, trying to get through, or we're full, or they're not getting any response. Then the best solution is calling someone like yourself who has numbers at every facility. So it's not like.
And he just knows what, like, I've met probably all the same people Mike's met, right? But he is so good at knowing what insurance they take, which contact is for the person, because it seems like in this industry, it's always changing. And he's like on top of it. He knows, he has the personal cell phone number. He knows the insurance. He knows what level of care.
10 o'clock at night, and who isn't?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's the tricky part. Like, I can't call them right now, but let me give these two people a shout. That's that.
In the two of them, or I have 5 calls out. You'll have a bed by morning, whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's a great thing I think it's amazing that that's being offered, and I have no doubt if someone's watching this and they need help, they could get it tonight.
They can get it. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And it's all free. It is all, that service is free. We're not, we
don't charge for that.
We're not charging for that. What the donations is for is so that we can, like Mike said, scholarship someone into sober living, or scholarship someone, a veteran who, needs, because, Kathy, you saw it with Murph and with his son.
Yeah. That's the thing I was going to say. I'm a little fact, but now that you mentioned that, Spectrum does take veterans insurance. New England Recovery, like they'll take it.
Really?
Don't be afraid to ask me, because that's one of those tricky ones too. So yes.
Right. Like the TRICARE, correct?
TRICARE.
You have to only go Connecticut, New York, or the tri-states, but the other veterans insurance.
Yep.
Yes.
So you can take the same one, because with Mike, he could only go to the VA with his insurance. There was no other option for him but the VA.
Right. And now you can take that. Yes.
So I just got our Venmo information. We'll post it on the page as well. It's at Recovery Solutions is the Venmo. So if anyone, even just a $5 donation, $10 donation, whatever, if you know anyone, you donate, and you could help, us try to support someone. And then again, boxing on Saturday. That's it's boxing for fitness. $10 on Saturday. You get a boxing lesson. You get to be sore the next day if you're out of shape like I am.
You're feeling it not fit.
Yeah, it's like I said in the beginning, it's a good sore because it means that I'm not just sore from sitting on the couch eating my bags of Milanos. I'm sore, but
That's right.
I'm not sore from dipping the milk, the cookie in the milk. I'm sore from actually getting out there and being, and it was so cool because everyone was there was pretty much in recovery.
Yeah, which is cool, and we want to add a recovery element to it. So if we get a big enough turnout, we want to do at 7 a.m. for the extra early birds.
Nope.
We want to have an all pathways to recovery meeting.
Yes.
So
what a great idea.
So we would do set. See, Kathy's on board, right, Jess? So let's get motivated.
Get up for it.
7 o'clock on a Saturday. Oh.
So we would do a recovery meeting, 7 to 8. Boom, you're feeling good, spirit full. Then we get right into boxing. Get all that stress out. Maybe you thought about something while you were in the meeting that stressed you out. Get the stress out, get moving, get into the flow state. Perfect way to start your weekend.
Mike, you should be a motivational speaker to get, now as you're saying this, I'm thinking, oh, okay, maybe that wouldn't be so.
Now she's thinking, oh, now I got to get up and get there by 7.
That's exactly. It was a struggle on Saturday, but I got to tell you. Oh, why did that just? It motivates.
I have a toddler, so I'm up.
What?
Yeah, exactly. She has kids too. Hello, I don't know what she has. Her
my kids are late sleepers.
I have a cat that wakes me up. Okay.
My kid and my older son's been in Falmouth for like years, it seems, but he's in Falmouth. But my 5-year-old actually likes to sleep in a little bit, and so does my dog.
So you're lucky.
So I'm lucky. I've trained them well. To get out at 7 o'clock. But it is especially going with people that you love and having that, like, my friend Linda was going and Debbie was going and Julie, and I knew Mike was running it, kind of to be there for each other. And then now when I was leaving there, I was thinking maybe I will do this every Saturday. I don't know who that was speaking, but it was me that was like, I'm gonna get up that early every Saturday.
Motivational speech got you
going.
There you go.
Yeah, and Debbie said she's the cheerleader, which she was another reason I went, just to. Anything else, Michael, that you got?
This week, Debbie's going to be a photographer, so we can get some action photos in. To be honest, Jess is sore because she was doing the best with the box jumps or the squat jumps.
Oh, good.
So she was getting the highest. I don't know. She looked like Michael Jordan out there jumping.
Yeah, right.
I
think that is why I'm sore. I was overexerting myself. I was trying to pull off.
You were going hard for sure. But yeah, please reach out to us. Any one of us that you see here tonight, we're all in this together. We're all in this fight together. Providing people with navigation into treatment, suggestions, consulting, all that good stuff. We help you find the highest quality level of care. Based upon whether you're insurance dependent, no insurance, cash dependent, whatever it may be, we'll find you the highest quality care for whatever financial standing you're at, and that's what we do.
That's a promise.
And so Mike is now. That's a promise. What we end the show, Mike does a one-liner really quickly, and then we end.
Well, let's see if Kathy has any final thoughts because
right before your final words.
Yeah.
Okay. I have no final thoughts other than. Thank you guys so much. I'm grateful that you asked me to come and talk about, I could talk about recovery forever. I love it. It's the one thing I'm most passionate about. So,
well, thank you
guys.
Thank you for my recovery, because without you doing that, now I'm able to do this with Mike and give back with the rest of the team. So it just shows you what you do,
Boom.
So awesome to be here with you guys. And Mike,
it's awesome to have you. Great job, Kathy.
Thank you.
Now, Michael, hit it.
All right, guys. Leave the world a better place than you found it. Good night.
Happy Sunday.
Good night.